The Resident Evil Showcase took place just a couple of days ago, and I have to admit it was pretty amazing, and in today's video we'll be taking a look at all the new news we got on the Resident Evil 4 remake, so stick around because we're about to get straight into this. The first thing that the trailer shows is Leon walking through the forest, and he says, "How far could he have gone?" It's pretty obvious that he's talking about the first Ganado, which we'll possibly see running through the forest in the beginning of the game. And then we see Leon enter the first Ganado's house, where he searches around to find one of the officers that he arrived with dead on the ground. And then we see Leon encounter the first Ganado, where they fight for a little bit, but then Leon decides to run away. It's likely that this will be optional, but the footage shows Leon running away and hiding from the Ganado, therefore showing us that there will be some stealth segments of the game. Then Leon locks himself in a room and finds a picture of Ashley on the wall before calling Hunnigan to discuss Ashley's location. But before they could finish talking, some Ganados break down the door and Leon has to dive through a window to escape. And then we see Leon arriving at the village to find the other cop that he arrived with being set aflame by the Ganados. And then the iconic village fight plays out, with Leon taking on hordes of Ganados before eventually needing to run into the house in the village. Here Leon sees Dr. Salvador, and then he decides to run up on the roof so he could have a better chance at fighting Dr. Salvador and all the Ganados. Here we see Leon killing Ganado after Ganado, and eventually even fighting Dr. Salvador himself in a knife-to-chainsaw battle. This next trailer that we're going to go over is a bit more cinematic, only showing cutscenes rather than a bunch of gameplay. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. Starting with this trailer, where the first thing we see is a glimpse of a forest with some Ganados speaking Spanish in the background. And then it shows Ashley being pinned down by a couple of Ganados. This is likely the scene where Ashley gets infected with the Plaga. And then we see some Ganados running. This is likely the scene where Leon and Ashley have to crank the cranks to pull the bridge up before entering the castle. And then it shows Leon and Luis talking, where Luis asks if Leon is looking for anybody in specific. This is very likely the scene after Leon and Luis were handcuffed together, considering we could see a Ganado's body right next to Leon on the ground. And then they reveal Luis's face, which is considerably different than how he looked in the original RE4. And then we see Leon walking through the castle to come across a picture of Sadler. And then we see Leon aiming his gun at Chief Mendez. If I had to say, I think this scene takes place right when you enter the barn before the Mendez boss fight. And then it shows Leon arriving at the church. And then we see a shadow of a Plaga bursting out of a Ganado's head. And then we see Leon being injected with the Plaga. And then it shows Leon entering the room to rescue Ashley for the first time. And then we get a glimpse of some Ganados outside the church, as well as seeing part of Sadler's face. And then we could see Leon shooting a Ganado before the bridge that him and Ashley are standing on collapses as they run off. And then it shows Leon being confronted by Ada in the castle. And I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be the scene from the original Resident Evil 4 where Leon and Ada meet in the castle. And then we could see Leon pushing Luis against the wall, and Leon looks very frustrated in this clip. This is probably the scene where Leon shows Luis the picture of Ashley, and somehow Luis knows exactly who she is and where she's being held captive. And in the remake, they're just gonna make this scene a little bit more dramatic. And then they show us a cutscene with the first El Gigante encounter. Then we could see Leon and Ashley running towards a cabin where Leon and Luis have the fight with all the Ganados. And then we catch a quick glimpse of the Del Lago boss fight before it quickly transitions over to Salazar and the two Verdugos. And then we see the scene of Ashley coughing up blood just like in the original RE4, and after that there's a scene of Sadler taking Ashley from Leon and using the plaga inside of Leon to keep him halted in place. And then they show a little clip of Mendez in his mutated form. Then we get another glimpse at Ashley, Ada, and then Salazar. And then they show Leon and Ashley standing outside of the front of the castle before quickly cutting to Leon aiming at somebody. And the final clip that we got is of Ashley aiming a gun, and she looks to be infected or even possibly under the mind control of Sadler. This could possibly be the scene where Ashley is being taken away from Leon by Sadler via mind control. But yeah, that's about all we got for today, so see ya. Well, there you have it, guys, a full breakdown of the new Resident Evil 4 remake footage. If you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next episode of Bagels Battle.